Thank you for choosing to watch the Watchman News Headlines video. Our full episodes can now be seen over at Patreon with much more added content for just $2 a month. Link is in the description. If you cannot afford $2 a month, please consider using our Amazon affiliate link, purchasing from our Teespring store, or making a PayPal donation. All links are below. In order for us to grow, we have to make changes to enable it. Our time is valuable, and we have been one of the very few news sources actually dedicated to bringing you honest, hard-hitting, actionable news and information. Plus, for your $2 a month, you do not have to hear me blabber about these links. It's a win for us all.
Bullshit.
Thank you. Good evening, Watchmen and Watchwomen of YouTube. So tonight, we were kind of all over the place over there on Patreon, but we had a really good conversation about the things that are going on right now in this nation, the glaring inconsistencies of the things that are going on, why I feel that they are going on, what the end game is, and how we as individuals can overcome that. I think that pretty well puts a summary on tonight's discussion on Patreon. I was kind of all over the place on subjects, but nonetheless, I think it came together pretty nice in the end. So it is what it is. I continue to urge you to come on over there where we dive deep into different topics, and that's what it's all about. That's why we're over there. We can be a little bit more open and free over there. And yeah, it still uses the YouTube platform, but it does so with unlisted video. And that $2 paywall really does keep a good job of keeping our butts in the clear when it comes to speaking our minds. So anyway, and then we've got other options as well over there. So if we got nixed by YouTube, there's other options that I can utilize to still communicate with you. So there is that. So anyway, you're here for headlines, and I suppose that I could do that. Nothing from last night. Everything is from today, this morning. Americans bought guns in record numbers in 2020. During a year of unrest, and the surge is continuing. Now, the interesting thing is the article that I put out was from our local news affiliate, KMOV. However, the original article came from CNN, and to read the article, it looked like more of a gun advertisement than what it looked like it was against guns. I guess it would just depend on your mindset when you read it. But to anybody that has a clue reading that article, it was a pretty good advertisement. It was a pretty good endorsement on why people should own firearms. And I actually thought it was a good article. It wasn't so propagandized to the point that I firmly don't believe that it would put somebody against the idea of owning firearms. In fact, like I say, it pretty much supported the idea, so it's a pretty good article, really. Let's see. Thousands protest violence against women in Australia versus PM Morrison's government rocked by rape allegations. Beijing skies turn orange as massive sandstorm wreaks havoc on air quality in Chinese capital. Capitol rioter reportedly told colleagues Nazis should have finished the job and sported a Hitler mustache at Navy base. Okay then. India considering total ban on cryptocurrencies, says the media. U.S. has 1,000 off-the-books troops in Afghanistan, some of whom work with the CIA, says the media. And we wonder about all of the attacks. Thailand to restart AstraZeneca COVID vaccine rollout days after suspending use over safety concerns. Somebody got it paid out. China ramps up oil imports from Iran. Anti-coup protests rage in Myanmar after dozens killed over crackdown's bloodiest weekend. Life expectancy for Russians drops for first time in almost 2 decades as 323 6,800 excess deaths recorded during COVID-19 pandemic. But there was that time, Chernobyl, but we won't discuss that. Regular booster shots will become commonplace as new variants emerge, says UK's COVID-19 genomics chief. Egypt and France conduct joint naval exercise as tensions ease following 2020 Prophet cartoon controversy. U.S. must lift sanctions and pledge not to repeat Trump's mistakes before nuclear talks can resume, Iran says. U.S. is an out-and-out eavesdropping empire, says Beijing, as Washington lists Chinese companies as national security threat. Biden White House resorting to seize of Russia by sending troops to NATO borders and ships to Black Sea, says a leading Moscow senator. Bitcoin is the best performing asset of past decade, data shows. Amazon rainforest now most likely warming the Earth's atmosphere, not cooling it, scientists warn. Tehran accuses Israel of creating unrest and reserves all rights to respond to cargo ship attack. Let's see. Has the pandemic turned your government into totalitarians? RT launches own COVID-19 Freedom Index. And it was a pretty cool little map. Our area is in white, whatever the hell that means. We didn't have any type of red indication. Our area, in fact, a large swath of the United States is in white, whatever the hell that means. I never did figure out what the white meant. But there's a legend for what the different variations of red means. So I guess we're under normal totalitarian rule. Iran unveils missile city filled with ballistic and cruise missiles. Elon Musk declares himself techno king of Tesla's. Company CFO, now master of coin, says an SEC filing. That guy's a trip. Campaign of COVID-19 tests targeting foreigners in South Korea's most populous province sparks allegations of xenophobia. Bavaria's PM urges EU to accelerate approval of vaccines, include Sputnik 5 as Russia inks production deals with Europe. Underwater telescope placed below Siberia's Lake Baikal as Russian scientists aim to detect particles from billions of years ago. Zuckerberg unveils new Facebook feature aimed at helping people get their COVID vaccine. Post alleging health danger from 5G towers land Russian citizen a fine for disinfo as new superfast network piloted in Moscow. Gazprom significantly boosts natural gas supplies abroad in 2021. The Vatican bars gays' union blessing and says God cannot bless the sin. Now, I specifically remember they had a different stance on this not long ago. So they're backtracking on this. I wonder if they're going to backtrack on their stance on abortion. Time will tell. Because while they didn't say that abortion wasn't a sin, they said that it was a forgivable sin. So I'm waiting to see if they backtrack on that as well. Put Germany under immediate lockdown or face third COVID spike, says ICU doctors in Germany. President of L'Île de France says Paris is living on borrowed time as British variant sweeps across the capital. Russian Communist head suggests tax on suspiciously rich citizens as government takes aim at those thought to be faking poverty. Spain's deputy PM resigns in high-stakes Madrid presidency bid after local government calls snap election to avoid no confidence vote. Despite months-long EU approval process, bloc members already lining up to produce Sputnik 5, makers of Russian COVID-19 jabs say. Scientists estimate how many interstellar objects enter the solar system each year and propose how we might reach them. Not with a boat. Britain buys most of Russia's gold exports in January, worth over $700 million. Teen arrested after 6-year-old found dead in Indiana. Biden's border crisis, number of kids detained soars past record levels as Dems blame Donald Trump. Yeah, they're blaming Donald Trump. And the whole cage thing, they're all talking about how Donald Trump's so horrible because of the kids in cages thing, which is something that Obama started. It's mind-blowing what is going on. It is absolutely mind-blowing what is going on. It is nothing but a circus in our government. U.S. health officials lobbied Brazil to reject Russian-made Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine despite 250,000 pandemic deaths, report confirms. Let's see. The daily grind, coffee, white chocolate, and office sandwiches are out as UK adjusts its price basket to reflect COVID realities. Wow, I don't know how I had such a hard time with that one. Twitter still ignoring Russian demands to remove illegal content despite country's decision to throttle website speed, says an official. EU launches legal action over UK decision to unilaterally extend Brexit grace period. Italian prosecutor seizes batch of AstraZeneca COVID-19 jabs as a precaution and launches manslaughter investigation after death. 2 men arrested in connection with the death of Capitol Police officer. Second suspect arrested after viral video shows assault of San Francisco Uber driver. That was ridiculous. I watched the video of that. That was absolutely ridiculous, the way they treated that man. Lukashenko's claim that Belarus has no friends doesn't apply to Russia, as the two nations have a brotherly bond, says the Kremlin. A decade of war, RT visits Kimimim, I can't say the name, I have no idea how that's pronounced, air base from where Russia jets helped turn the tide in Syria's anti-terrorism campaign. Striking the wrong chord, CAS bans use of Katyusha, I don't know how to say that either, song instead of Russian national anthem at Olympic Games. Macron warns of more COVID-19 measures in coming days amid France's stubbornly high infection rate and new pressure on hospitals. European drugs regulator calls emergency vaccine summit after EU states press pause on AstraZeneca jab rollout. In other words, people need paid off. Swipe right if you dare. Tinder parent company throws weight behind police background checks for dating apps. 3 dead after driver plows into at least 8 pedestrians near San Diego City College, says police. Empty pomp and circumstance, eye rolls after U.S. Senator Romney calls for economic and diplomatic boycott of Beijing Olympics. We are living in a material world. Scientists reveal high-tech textiles breakthrough in wearable, washable electronic displays. So now you're going to have people as walking advertisements. I mean, like literally flashing billboards on their clothing. I basically want to walk around to make it look like I'm nude. That would be hilarious. That would be so hilarious. NATO sees no imminent military threat from Russia or China, Secretary General Stoltenberg says. CBS talk show suspended amid probe into Sharon Osbourne's defense of Piers Morgan in Racism Row, says reports. Talked about that during the monologue as well. Derek Chauvin lawyers gravely concerned about juror impartiality after George Floyd's civil settlement and ask for trial delay. Kill the bill, protesters block Westminster Bridge and urge UK MPs to axe policing plan in wake of Sarah Everard murder. Facebook executive says Zuckerberg is too powerful and Facebook should be broken up in an undercover interview. Portugal's top court rejects bill to legalize euthanasia as unconstitutional. Washington Post issues huge correction to story on Trump's pressuring of Georgia election official, says he was misquoted but resumes attack. Amid surge in illegal immigration, Republican leaders claim terrorists sneaking across the Mexican border. Quick blame Russia. London's much panned new press briefing room somehow cost £2.6 million. It's government. That's why. Spain halts AstraZeneca vaccines amid safety concerns, joining 17 other nations as EU says jabs benefit outweigh the risks. Let's see. Biden calls on local preachers and doctors to promote vaccines, dismissing Fauci's appeal for Trump to help get skeptics on board. And that's what this is all about. That's why Trump is the one that was behind the rollout of it, and why he was shown the door and Fauci came in, because we had to get both the right and the left on board to take this vaccine. Plain and simple. 2 killed after single-engine plane crashes into car with woman and child inside. Biden administration to house up to 3,000 migrant kids in Dallas Convention Center turned into decompression facility, says reports. And that's it. That is the headlines for this Monday. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. I am going to do a little bit of relaxing before bed. And I hope you all have a good evening. So, God willing, we'll be back tomorrow and we'll do it all over again. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.